In this video, we're going to be discussing the requirements for control plan within the context of IATF 16949 and customer specific requirements. So welcome back, Devin and Dawn.
Hi.
Devin, maybe the first question then, what are the minimum requirements that should be in a control plan?
Yeah, so in IATF 16949 and Annex A, we describe what should be in a control plan, and also make sure to check the CSRs. Customer specific requirements are going to tell you as well what needs to be in there.
Right, okay, because that is important, I think, that a lot of auditors historically have thought that the control plan needs to be in a specific format. And I think a lot of companies default to the format in the APQP manual published by AIAG. But from what I understand, you're saying then, Devin, that as long as the control plan meets the Annex A requirements and any customer specific requirements, then it can be in any format as long as it contains that minimum information.
Yes.
That's a key point, I think. And Dawn, within the context of IATF then, what are the different phases that we might see a control plan?
Okay, there's three phases. So you've got prototype, pre-production, and production control plan. Prototype is only if required by the customer, whereas the pre-production and the production would be the ones that we would commonly be looking at.
Right, so they should always be there then within a certified organization.
Yes.
When we're going through the new product introduction, the pre-production, and then when it's fully released, a production control plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Devin, is a control plan needed then for every individual product that the organization manufacture?
No, it is not. And according to SI 24, I think if it's a very intense process, the control plan can link to the other systems.
Right. Okay. So summarizing that bit, then we can have family control plans. That is allowed within the context of IATF, unless, I guess, specified in a customer specific requirement that there needs to be an individual one for each product. And it's interesting, you mentioned sanction interpretation 24, which allows the control plan almost to be a signpost, I guess, to some of the other manufacturing execution systems.
Right.
Yeah, which is important because I think in some complex industries, then the control plan will be tens of thousands of pages long if every product and process parameter was put within the control plan. So I think that's important. Dawn, when an organization then develop the control plan, how should they go about doing that? What should be some of the inputs?
Well, fundamentally the PFMEA, which is sometimes an issue that you find that link is not actually there. So certainly it should follow the same process steps as your PFMEA, and the risks that you've identified within the PFMEA you should be showing the controls that you have in place within the control plan.
Right. So I guess we're saying then we can't develop the control plan without having a robust FMEA.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's definitely a prerequisite.
That's how it should be. And
Yeah.
Devin, in terms of common problems found with control plans then, in your experience, what would some of those problems be that auditors might find?
Yeah, so obviously the control plan not being updated is a major concern. I believe it's the number 6 major right now, major nonconformance, and the number 2 minor nonconformance.
Oh, wow. Okay. And those statistics I know now are published on the IATF Global Oversight website.
That's correct.
So, yeah, this is a common problem found certainly then in third-party audits, and is a pointer maybe for internal auditors to focus on in undertaking their audits. Dawn, any other issues in your experience?
I think responsibility is not being clearly defined. So who is responsible for updating the FMEA? So who's the control plan, who's getting that team together, and also the competencies of the people
Yeah.
on the team. So are they following, the correct process for the control plan?
Yeah. And Devin, I think most listeners will have heard the term special characteristics. How is that in the context of control plan? What should be in the control plan?
Yeah, so obviously the special characteristics need to be cascaded throughout and identified or marked in some way on that control plan.
Right, okay, and I guess that's taken into account any customer specific requirements. But the key thing is the linkage from any customer requirements, the risk analysis through the PFMEA, into the control plan, into the standardized work. And Dawn, do you think from your experience of auditing, organizations take control plans seriously? Do you think they see it as a value add document?
I think it really varies with the
Yeah,
organisation. Certainly, the ones that do use it as a value added process, so that
yeah,
I think you can actually see the benefits within that organisation. But sadly, that isn't always the case, and
yeah,
sometimes again, it's very much just a tick box exercise.
yeah.
Product approval process requires that we have a control plan, so we need to
Yeah,
put
to
one
create
together,
one.
create
Yeah,
one.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I think often they're so generic that
Yes.
there's really no value. So I think it's getting that balance that we haven't got 10,000 pages,
Yeah.
but we have enough in there to define how we're going to put the product and process controls to make a conforming product. So let's summarize then. So the control plan is a mandatory requirement in IATF 16949. I believe the word control plan is used around 50 times within the IATF standard. The minimum requirements for a control plan are specified in Annex A, but the format of the control plan may also be influenced by customer specific requirements. As Dawn mentioned, we have three different types of control plan that we might come across. Prototype control plan if required by the customer, but pre-production and production control plans are required for all of the organization products. But it is allowed within the context of IATF that the organization may have family control plans for groups of products that are made through the same manufacturing process. Like FMEA, the control plan should be reviewed and updated if we're proposing to make any changes in the process or if we have customer or internal related issues.